Feints don't need to land. They just need to interrupt the process. See, defense is a system built on rhythm, on habits, on an unconscious sense of what's coming next. So when you feint, you're not just faking a strike. You're corrupting the data their defense runs on. You're throwing sand in the gears. You're planting doubt in a system that relies on certainty. Because, at its core, good defense is a timing game. Slipping, blocking, parrying. These aren't just reactions. They're well-timed decisions made in fractions of a second. And most defenders, they're not reacting to your punch. They're reacting to the pattern. They anticipate, they recognize what usually comes next. But what happens when you start injecting feints into the flow? The timing gets fuzzy. They brace too early, and nothing happens. They flinch too late because it didn't look real. They commit right when they shouldn't because you made it feel like the real attack already happened. Feints are like stutter steps for the brain. They interrupt the natural rhythm of defense and replace it with hesitation. That hesitation is everything because defense thrives on patterns. Most fighters don't respond to one strike. They respond to rhythm. They see the habits. He always doubles the jab. He finishes with the low kick. He resets after this combo. But when you feint, that rhythm breaks. The pattern lies. The story they've been reading suddenly has a new ending every page. They're trying to solve a puzzle that keeps changing shape. They're trying to download your game. But every time they think they've got it, you reboot the system. Let's make it visual. Imagine you're dancing with a partner. Every time you step, they mirror you. That's clean defense. That's responsiveness. Now suddenly, you fake a step. You pause. You shift tempo, mid-beat. They're still trying to follow. But now they're always one move behind. Feints turn the dance into a glitch. And your opponent, they start stepping into punches instead of away from them. But it goes deeper. Because most fighters have built-in reactions. Hardwired defensive triggers, a shoulder twitch, hands come up, a hip turn. They check the kick. A weight shift, they sprawl. You don't need to throw the strike. You just need to pull the string. Feints abuse these reflexes. You trigger their defense without committing to the attack. And once they bite, you guide them. You walk them straight into what you really wanted. Now let's talk mechanics. Feints don't just mess with the mind. They wreck the body too. When someone keeps reacting to fakes, their guard opens and closes out of sync. Their weight shifts the wrong way. Their feet slide out of position. Their spine leans when it should anchor. Everything that should stay grounded starts to wobble. And the result? Open ribs, exposed chin, late parries, off-balance recoveries. It still looks like defense, but it's cracked, shaky, unreliable. Now, here's the real kicker. When every signal might be fake, when nothing feels guaranteed, the defender has to reset constantly. They stop trusting what they see. They stop trusting their habits. They stop trusting their instincts. So after every twitch, every movement, they hesitate. They second guess. They pause. And in that pause, you hit, you flow, you take over because they're no longer defending. They're recovering. And that is the real purpose of the feint. Not to trick them once, but to collapse their entire system. And here's where it gets philosophical. See, feints are about more than just deception. They expose a deeper truth, that the mind wants certainty. The body wants patterns, and the ego wants to believe it's in control. But when you feint, you pull the rug out from under all three. You show them that what they think is real might not be, that what they trust in the moment might betray them. You introduce doubt, and doubt, that's poison for any reactive system. Because the moment someone doubts what they're seeing, they start questioning themselves. They hesitate, they freeze, they shrink, and in that hesitation, you don't just land punches. You take authority, because now you're not fighting their body anymore. You're fighting their uncertainty. And that fight, you've already won. Let's go even deeper. Feints reveal something spiritual about combat. They show us that what we perceive is not always what is, that the senses can be tricked, that instincts can be manipulated, and that belief can be turned against you. When someone reacts to a feint, they're not responding to truth, they're responding to expectation. They saw a shoulder drop and assumed the rest would follow. They felt the rhythm and expected the beat to land in the usual place. But life doesn't always move in predictable patterns, and neither should you.